This one's wife, money, is tearing them apart. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. It's been widely reported on that the Sussexes have financial difficulties, and it's been suggested that they're $28 million in debt with no appreciable income pipelines on the horizon. This naturally is creating tension. Financial problems create tension in any household, in any relationship, but especially so where there is a narcissist involved, because as I've explained to you previously, the issue of money as a residual benefit for this one's wife is hugely important because it enables her to assert control over people by basically saying, look at all this money I've got. It enables her to draw fuel from people's reactions, and it assists her with regard to the management of her facade. It enables her to purchase jewellery, clothing which doesn't fit properly, a big house, pay for security, etc. All of the trappings that accord with her belief that she is an A-list celebrity. All of this costs a substantial amount of money. And while she has been hanging around in the company of people who can truly afford it, it's becoming apparent that the Sussexes can't. And it would appear that differing views on this is pulling them apart, according to Samantha Ibrahim of the New York Post. Prince Harry and this one's wife have made a pretty penny since dramatically departing the royal family back in 2020. The duo currently have a contract with Netflix reported to be worth about $100 million and allegedly netted another $20 million through their now defunct Spotify deal. However, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are said to have different views on money, and it's purportedly pulling them apart. It is entirely understandable that they would have different views about money. Harry's always been used to having money and could never envisage a time where he would find himself under financial pressure because he was always ensconced within the warm embrace of the royal family that basically enabled him to do what needed to be done, sent him to the places that he needed to go, and pointed him in the right direction. He didn't truly have to work for a living. He spent time in the army, and then he would turn up at various charitable events, etc., and didn't have to worry about all of those costs because, in essence, they were shouldered by the royal family. He doesn't look at money in the way that this one's wife does, because her view is governed by her narcissism. The reporter explains there's very much a feeling that Harry wants to concentrate on charity work and his family, which of course, it's what he's used to, and if it can be said that there is something that Harry does best, it's those things. While this one's wife is much more concentrated on her brand going forward. Well, to what extent that brand actually exists is something for discussion, but that's on another day. An insider insinuated that Harry, 39, is less interested in maximising profits and no longer wants to rehash details about his royal past, which, of course, is all that he really had to offer. He's not an entrepreneur. He's not somebody that's a brilliant speechwriter. He's not somebody that comes up with fantastic business ideas. Witness what he suggested about interviewing Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin for Arcee wipes. He famously dropped his bombshell memoir Spare earlier this year, in which he wrote in great detail about his life in the Windsor clan. Meanwhile, this one's wife, 42, has allegedly expressed the desire to build up her own personal brand, which could bring in huge amounts of cash, although it's worth pointing out so far that really hasn't happened. One expert recently claimed the former actress could net $1 million for a single sponsored post if she makes her rumoured return to Instagram. Well, this much rumoured return still hasn't happened, and I've explained in parts passim how the probability of her getting $1 million is utter bunkum. The report comes just days after a dating expert alleged that the couple could be heading towards a Hollywood split in the near future. Luella Alderson defined a Hollywood split as an agreement whereby two stars start living separate lives without announcing it to the world. It was recently revealed that Will Smith, empath and victim of his narcissistic wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, have been living separately for years without telling fans. Similarly, Meryl Streep and husband Don Gummer only announced their breakup last week, despite reportedly living apart for the past 6 years. Alderson suggested that it was beneficial for the Sussexes to continue to put on a united front, as they make a lucrative team. Do they, though? People have seen through them. They're tired of her victim mentality and his. He wants to do the charity stuff, and she has nothing to offer. So to suggest that they're a lucrative team, well, what's actually happening here is that most people are only really interested in Harry because of his royal connections. And therefore, whenever she tries to do something, they need to ensure that Harry's involved. Thus, she still actually needs him in that regard. Their working partnership has the potential to continue bringing in substantial income for their family. Well, again, I see that as doubtful. While they have their individual endeavours, their partnership has proven to be beneficial for both of them professionally too, the dating expert explained. If they were to split, it could potentially impact their careers, especially as a couple who have brands built on their relationship, Alderson added. The media attention surrounding the end of their relationship would be difficult to deal with, and they have their children to look out for, she said. Harry and this one's wife are parents to their 2 kids, Archie 4 and Lilibet 2. It's common for celebrities to maintain a united front in the public eye. They may choose to present themselves as a strong and happy couple, even if they've been actually living separate lives for years. For the moment, that might be the case, that's something that could be done, but I don't see that it will last for long. Reason being, they're not going to be able to make the money that she demands. He doesn't have the talent or the ability, and nor does she. It worked together for a period of time as a consequence of the fact that he's royal and she's married into the royal family. It worked for a period of time because the likes of Netflix and Spotify were expecting fantastic tell-alls about what had actually gone on. And in fact, what they really got was the whinging victimhood, which soon grew old very quickly. The problem that they have is that ultimately, this one's wife will have a level of demand for this residual benefit that isn't going to be serviced by them remaining together. What can they actually do together? They've played the victim card over and over again. They've played the race card. They've no real royal revelations to disclose. The public are sick and tired of hearing them slate their family. Therefore, they've got nothing more to offer. And that's what their partnership offers. Royal stories and victimhood. And they can't do that anymore. Accordingly, given the fact that this one's wife will require money, it's more likely that they won't maintain this united front, and rather she'll be looking around to get a replacement, a wealthy replacement instead, for Ginger Bollocks. That she will disengage from him because she will find somebody else who's got plenty of money that she, the parasite that she is, can sponge off, because at the end of the day, although she believes that she's charismatic, brilliant and talented, the fact is she is not. And even she will be able to see that no money is coming in, and in the circumstances, she's going to have to turn to somebody else to leech off them instead. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.